So, I was reading a report that was from 2018, and it was a bipartisan group out of DC. That I think it was a Civil Rights Commission. And I know, given your work, in doing voting rights work, and would you say, given your expertise and your knowledge on and being involved in voting rights cases for many years, would you say that Texas has had the highest number of voting rights violations, at least in the most recent years? I mean, I know that was the case in 2018 when this report was written.
Yes, I can confidently say that, because although I'm not familiar with the report that you're mentioning, we've done a series of reports about states and Voting Rights Act violations in the wake of the loss of the Section 5 coverage formula for preclearance for Texas. And since that time, since 2013, we've monitored voting rights violations in Texas as well as other states where Latinos live, whether that's Arizona, New Mexico, as well as Deep South states. And I can confidently say that Texas has a greater number of voting rights violations, not the least of which was the most recent round of redistricting, in which Texas was found to have violated Latino voting rights in the state House plan, as well as the congressional, including in a ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court.
So for some of my colleagues, I did a semester in law school at DOJ, working in the Civil Rights Division, specifically on Section 2, Section 5. But my colleagues here may not know what Section 5 refers to. Can you just maybe briefly explain, what that did and why, when it was enacted and why it's...
Well, for many years, starting in 1975 until 2013, Texas was under some very specific federal requirements to get pre-approval for its election-related changes. That did end in 2013 with the Supreme Court's decision in the Shelby County, Alabama case. It is not true that Texas sort of emerged unscathed from its period of federal supervision, because following that, we did have court rulings striking down the Texas voter ID law as in violation of Section 2, the vote dilution provisions of the Federal Voting Rights Act, as well as court rulings striking down portions of the congressional and state House redistricting.
Why was Texas under a preclearance?
In 1975, Texas came in under preclearance because it had a combination of low voter turnout and a history of voting discrimination against minorities.